Hi, Mark here. I trust you're well. Welcome to a recording of a live Lightroom skills and support session that I hosted on Monday the 9th of February 2026. This was the first of 3 sessions where we looked at mastering keywording. Now I've broken it up into 3 sessions so you're not overloaded with information. So the first part of this tonight's session is we're going to explore what keywords are and the fundamental understanding of keywords in a keyword list. Now, once we've done that, we come over to what I call my Lightroom short. It's a mystery functionality either from my workflow or from something that somebody asked perhaps 3 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago, and we want to explore it in more depth. And then we conclude our time together with your challenges. You've got a question about, I need help with X, or what can I do about? Now, if you'd like to come and join us, just visit lightroommark.com, and below the introductory video is all the upcoming events. I look forward to welcoming you one day on one of our live Lightroom skills and support sessions. Now, without any further ado, let's jump across to the recording and happy editing. Hello, everybody. Lovely to see you. I'm now confused because we've got David, and David, and now we've got Heather and Heather and Heather.
Evening, David.
Good evening, everybody. Monday, 9th of Feb. It's keywording. We're going to start keywording. And I'm going to try my best to strip it all out. And we're going to start right at the bottom. So some of this will be, you'll know. But I've learned over the years different ways to describe different things and explain them different ways. So, what is a keyword? It is a word that you use to reference something about the image. Okay? And it's up for you to decide what that keyword can be. And the reason why I say that is we all have different needs in our photography. I'll say the same boring thing time and time again. Lightroom Classic is every tool for every photographer, for every type of photography. But you might not need the full functionality of what keywords can do for you. You may be a club photographer, a social photographer. You're taking pictures for you as a hobbyist, as an enthusiast, and you just might need to find those photographs. That's one use of keywording. Another use could be a commercial use of cataloging for an organization your images, part numbers, for example. That's a keyword, or you could use it as a keyword. Another scenario, and there are tens of scenarios. I'm just going to give you 3 there because we could be just sitting all night talking about scenarios. Another scenario could be you want to publicly share your images. So sometimes you would have to consider, what am I looking at? And how would I look for that image? How would I search for that image if I was looking for that image on the web, for example, or on Alamy, or on Getty, or on Adobe Stock? What keywords would I use to find that photograph if I was looking for that photograph? And in conjunction with keywording, you've got your headline, your description, your title, along with your personal metadata. So all keywords is a list of descriptive words that you want to use on an image. So thinking about where you want to get to, club photographer, you just need to find your images. So if Mr. Wilkinson doesn't mind, I'm going to pick on him. David likes wildlife and safaris. So we have unique identifiers: time of day, sunset, sunrise, noon. Okay. We have the narrative. Could be an otter, could be a jaguar, could be a hippopotamus, it could be a giraffe. And then we have location. Those are three identifiers that we could use as keywords to find images. Okay, so it could be an otter in Mull at sunrise. And searching on those three keywords would come back with all those images. Okay. Now, you may want to go into depth further. So I know David has photographs of otters on rocks. A single otter, two otters on a rock with water. So those are identifying keywords. And how far do you want to take your keywords in describing or searching for images is your choice. Where do you want to get to? How much do you want to search? Because once you've understood what you want from keywording, you can automate it. You can automate it with presets on import and automate it with smart collections. Okay. Anyone, any questions about what I've said?
No.
Nope. Okay. So all it is, it's a tag, it's a reference word, it's something that you associate with an image. And you've got to decide at whatever point in your workflow of what is that word. Okay. Right. Let's share a screen and I will share. So I will share you some understanding of what we have and how we can use keywords. So the two things that we're going to look at tonight are the keyword box. We can close those two. We'll look at these next week. And keyword list. And you can see I've got nothing in here at all. And how I set up my keywords is I make sure Command D, all my images are deselected. So when I create you can see there's no active images there, okay? When I create my keyword list, okay, I'm just creating my list. I'm just getting a piece of paper and I'm writing them down. I'm not associating them at the moment with an image. I could look at my images, so make the thumbnails a bit smaller, close my left panel, and think about what I've got here as keywords. And I'm not talking about people at the moment. Okay. So I've got a list and I could go plus. Okay. And I could put car. Okay. And there is a keyword of car. All I've done is gone plus and car. Camera. and I'm building a list of keywords. Okay, I've got one here, and it will do it in alphabetical order. Paris. Okay, and I'm just typing them in. Okay, dog, cat. Right. And all I'm doing is I'm creating a standard keyword list. That's all I'm doing. Now, how do you apply your keyword to an image? Lots of different ways. Okay. Let me explain one thing first. I go to the import and I go to import some images. We've got during import and I've got keywords. So if I type the word cat, it searches my keywords. And when it comes up like there, it's blue, that's taking the keyword. I hit enter. It's taking the keyword from here. It will look up the keyword. Yes, I've got it. And if I haven't got a keyword, I'll click in the box and type bird. There's no word there. It will add, if there was images and I was going to import them, it would add the keyword of bird here. Okay. This is a standard list. So on import, I could apply the keywords. Okay. We will look at presets, automation and presets at week 3. But how do I assign the word cat to this image and to these images? There's lots of different ways I can do it. One is I can just highlight the word and drag it to the image. I can drag it to that image. Now, you might see I've got 2 words with the word cat on it. I can deselect. I can now go to this image. I can go to this image. And it's down to you to choose. Is that a cat? Technically, in the family of animals, that's a cat. But you might consider that it's not. You will only tag it as a tiger. It's your choice. Okay, it's your keyword. Okay, so I'm just using my mouse, scrolling down through the screen to find pictures of cats. Now, what I can do is I've got those pictures highlighted. So go back up. There we go. It's an active image. It's light grey. It's an active image. I could just tick the box and they're now tagged. And you might just see if I make it bigger. You just see here, it's got a little tag symbol on there. It means it's keyworded. Okay. So I'm keywording these images of tags. All right. Now, if I want to see all my images with cats as a keyword or cat as a keyword, there's a little arrow here. Click on it. It'll bring up the menu, show me the 5 images. Okay, that's got cats on them. I can drag this up, make it smaller thumbnails. There they are, the 5 images. Now let's go to a smart collection. Create a smart collection. And I get into a habit of putting, what is the smart collection? Is it part of a project or something? Put them in there. KW for me is keywords. Keyword, cat. And this is all standard stuff, just making sure we've all got the same foundations. Other metadata, keywords, contains the word cat. Contains the word cat. So if you had cats, yeah, it contains it. But if I want the word cat, so catastrophic, that would not come up. But if I had contains cat, didn't we have it, Mr. Wilkinson? We had swan, didn't we? With Botswana. We
Yes, we did.
were, yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? We were searching on the word swan, and pictures were coming up from Botswana because the word or the letters that spell swan is in Botswana, and it contains, so Botswana contains the word swan, or the letters that makes the word swan. And it was because we had contains. So cats, plural, if you put contains, we'll search and we'll find. Okay. So I've now got a smart collection called cat. There they all are. Now, why would I do that? Well, if you think about on importing, if we add that keyword, and let's go back to all my images, and let's see if I can deselect. Now, these ones, and this one, and this one, it's got no little tag on it. Okay. But now that means there's no keyword applied to it. I'm going to tick the word cat. Now I'm going to go back to my smart collection. Remember, I had 5 to start with. Now I've got 9. It's in there automatically. So on import, if I applied the keyword on import, it would automatically go into that smart collection. Now think about the power of this. Let's say you took some pictures and you have the same workflow as I do. You press function 2 on your camera to apply 1 star, and you took some pictures of some cats and you wanted to see the 1 star images of cats. That's all you wanted to see. You rushed back home, you took some lovely pictures, and you wanted to see those ones on the back of the camera that you saw. You'd then just go up to your attributes, press 1 star, and all the pictures that you liked on the back of the camera of cats or cat would appear just by going click and click automatically. Okay, because you're following a methodical workflow. Yeah, so let's go back up to here. And what we can do here is we can look for images that don't have keywords. So here's some more cats. And I'm now going to do a different way. So there's the images of cats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect them. I'm going to come to the paint can. And in the paint can, you can select different tools, so keywords. And you then type the keyword, cat. There it is in blue, just like in the import dialog. So that's the word you're going to select. And we now spray on the image, the actual thumbnail itself, the word cat. Always put the can back on the dock, go to our smart collection, and there they are, all the pictures of cats. Okay. Now we have a little plus in the actual keyword. That's because it's been assigned to the tool. Okay. And again, I can click. It'll bring up a filter, keywords, or cats. So all we're doing here is we're tagging the cat. Okay. But we can apply additional filters. So let's just say in the filter structure, show me all the pictures of cats, but show me, and it is under develop, if I remember rightly, aspect ratio, show me all the portrait pictures of cats. Show me all the landscape pictures of cats. Remember, I'm asking a question. I'm looking for the keyword. I've clicked on the little arrow on the list, or I'm using a smart collection, and now I'm asking another question or applying a filter. And then you could turn around and say, well, actually, what I'm going to now do is I'm going to open my attributes and say, show me my virtual copies. Virtual copies. There they all are. Okay. So I'm adding additional questions to find the results. Different types of photography, end goals will have different questions. So here's another one for you. If I go to the develop module, the develop sorting, there should be. Let's just see if I can find it. Don't know if it's in this one. Here we go. Black and white. It's a question in the filter. There's all my black and white. Show me all my black and white that are portrait. So I've gone click, 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 searched 300,000 images, and there's the image. Because I knew what the keyword was, and I knew roughly what I wanted to find. Okay. Anyone, any questions about that? Mr. Wilkinson?
Sir.
You're very quiet about it. You usually got a question about keywords. Is that all right?
No, that was well described. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So that's basic keywording. All right. And the tip that I suggest to people is you keep your list separate in your mind. It's a list of words that you're going to associate to a photograph. And a lot of time when I go to somewhere, I will make my list before I go. So, as most of you know, I'm off to Malta. So I've already, as I'm doing my research, I'm already writing down on a piece of paper, it's just 2 books I bought, of what possible keywords, what am I going to photograph? And I'm adding them to classic. Okay.
Excuse me, Mark.
Yeah.
Is there a
Hi, Sue.
Hi, is there a limit on the number of keywords you can have?
No.
No, okay, that's good to know.
The limit is more of your RAM on your computer than how many keywords you have. Okay. So that's a nice point to move on to. What you've seen at the moment is normal keyword infrastructure. Okay, so at the moment we've just got a list. So Sue asked, how many can you have? You can have as many as you like, realistically. You'll just find that when you start doing a lot of keyword management, it could slow your computer down. Same with face recognition, could slow your computer down. Now, if you think about what have we got here? 2,974 images. In theory, I might have 5,000 keywords, because what keyword would you use for this image? Tree, landscape, nature. Yeah, there's 3 keywords there for that one image. What would you use for that? Mercedes, blue, convertible, sports car. How are you going to describe it? Clean car. Yeah. Bristol, night shot. Isambard and Kingdom Brunel. And so on. Bridge. Yeah. French Chateau, Loire Valley. Yeah. So you'd have more than one keyword, panoramic, for the image. So your list, if you make this list here on the right hand side, whilst we've only got 5 in there at the moment, could have 2,500, 3,500, 25,000 keywords. So this is where we get into what we call a structure of keywording. And there is the standard list, which is this. And the great thing about it is you can search. Just type in the little search bar at the top and you can find your keyword. And then just drag the keyword onto the dog. And there we go. Find another picture of a dog. There's a picture of dogs. Activated it. Drag it on there. There we go. It's another way of doing it. Another picture of a dog. I can just tick the box if I wish. Another way of doing it. Okay. So that's how you can apply them. But you might have a whole long list of 5,000 keywords. And once you've built your list, you can start looking at images and searching for your keywords and applying them to your images. Okay. But how do we organize them? And organizing your list is, if you want to go through what they call hierarchical keywords, is, I won't say a struggle, but you've got to get in your mind of how am I going to file my keywords. So you've got filing your photographs, which in this case are in unique identifiers, which is keywords, which is dates, year and dates. So all the pictures I take on a particular day, doesn't matter whether I take them on film camera, whether I take them with a phone, or take them with my digital camera. Whenever I took it, they all go together. But how do you then structure your keywords? How do you file your keywords? And my suggestion is you break them down into a general category. So you could have place, and it's up to you to decide what is a place. Now, I'm going to come back to this in a second, why I've unticked these and why I've put the capital P there. But place, for me, is a geographical name. So Paris is a place. And I can manage my list by dragging the word Paris underneath. What I've done is I've clicked down and dragged it under the word place. Now I could put France. Can I untick these? I'll come back in a minute. And now I'm going to put France in place and Paris into France. And now I could go United Kingdom. That's a place, so I'm going to put it in there. And I could put London as a place because we've got places inside of London. For example, Pinner. Okay, it's a town, it's a place. Now, so all I'm doing is I'm building my list. Now, the advantage of doing a hierarchical list, I can close my lists down. So I'm not going up and down on my screen. Okay, so I could have photography gear. Just going to untick those for a moment and put camera in there. I could have animals. I'll put cat and dog. Okay. And I could do one sport. Oops. All fingers and thumbs. Now take car. So now I've broken these down into categories, into titles. But if I expand the title, I'm drilling down into a location in my list. And now, so we've got some more for transport here. So we've got plane. Okay. And I'm going to put that in planes. So there's some planes. Take those, drag that onto there. Got Paris here. Paris. I can get into habit of closing them. France, Paris, drag that onto there. But I'm making it all nice and neat and tidy. It's organized. The structure's organized. So let's just scroll up. Did I have car? Yes, I had car. There's car. Okay, car. Drag it on. Done. And I had camera. So I don't even have to expand the list. There's camera. Cameras. Drag them across. Done. And I'm tagging them. Okay, but they're in, a hierarchical list of keywords. Okay, and I'm just organizing. And it's, do you want to do that? It's up to you. How do you want to do that? That's up to you. What is the categories? Now, I've deliberately not put the word space because how I keyword, I'm not telling you the way you should do it, is I'm going to put in there beach. So I've got a space, which is a beach. Okay. What else that I know we've got in here? Okay, so we've got river. Okay, and I'm going to put that into space. We've got church. Okay, this could go under architecture, but I'm going to put it in space at the moment. Now, this image has got Paris on there. Paris. Okay. The reason why I say space, and this is just, I'm just giving you ideas here. A church can be in any place. Can be in London, could be in Brighton, can be in Plymouth, it can be in Taunton, and so on. So rather than having Taunton Church as one keyword, you would have the word Taunton. Now let's create Somerset. And we now put Somerset into United Kingdom. And then Taunton into Somerset. Now you can add the words that you want to the particular images. So I want church. There is church, and I've just now added church to these images, church and Paris. So if I now want to go and find all my images, I can do it several ways, but we'll create a smart collection. Keyword, Paris, church. Keyword contains all, Paris, and church. And there we go. But I could have Taunton and church. I'm not replicating the word church. If I had Taunton railway station or railway and station, I put them in one place in my list. Okay. And I'm building like when we write a sentence, we're building the words, and we could use the word and 3 times, or I on, and so on. We could use it 3 times in a sentence. Yeah. So I'm building this hierarchical list. Okay. And I'm managing it and I'm organizing it. And you've seen me drag and drop. That does not affect the photograph. It's organizing the list. I'm managing the list. So I'll bring this out a bit wider for you. All right. Now, there's a couple of things I was doing when I create this. We have these options. Okay. Include on export. So when you export the image, it applies the keyword. Okay. Export contains the keyword. So this is the container. Right. So you can choose these options. Now, the two really, I never tick this one at the bottom, apply to an image. I treat my list separate to my images. I create my list, then I apply the photograph to the photograph. So I make sure in my workflow that my list is correct. So I get that template, that how I want the keyword to appear in the list right first, and then I apply it to images. Okay, so there's no mistakes going forward. Okay, so when I create a keyword, so let's come out of here for a second. Let's find a key something. Flowers. Okay, so when I create flowers, okay, or flower, I've decided it's a keyword. It's not a title to a list, a hierarchical title. And my workflow is I do not include the title to the list to it's a title. That's all it is. It's a title of a list. It's not a keyword. It's just something for me to see. So I've got the word flower and it's a keyword. It's all in lowercase. That's how I visually identify a keyword. And I tick, I want it exported. I want all the bits, bells and whistles. I want it all applied to the image because it's a keyword. So there's flower. Now, how am I going to file this? Am I going to put it into space? Possibly, because flowers can be in spaces. Or am I going to create, am I a wildlife photographer, a nature photographer? Am I actually going to have a whole long list of keywords about flowers? That's relevant for your photography. But I'm just going to drop it into here. Okay, so all I did was I dragged and dropped it. And now I'm going to select the images of flowers. Drag them across. Okay, now you've got the little tag. Now, when I create a title, so I'm going to deselect. I've got no images selected. So what am I going to choose for title? So I'm not going to do people yet. I'll do that next week. Transport. Let's have a look for a title. Got animals. We've got parrots, dogs, more flowers, more Paris. See, I go to France a lot, can't you? Cornwall. Okay, Cornwall, that'll do. This is Cornwall. This is St. Michael's Mount, Cornwall. So when I create a title, I want to identify that it's a title. Now, some people will put a title to a list in full capitals like this. Some people, and the way I do it, is I just put a capital first letter. And I untick everything because I do not want my title to be exported with the image. Press create. There it is there. Now I go and put it into the place, the actual part of the list, which in this case is places, that I want it to be. So it's going to go into United Kingdom, okay, and into Cornwall. Now, the reason why I capitalize it, I could actually put Cornwall as a keyword. And it's all lowercase. And I tick all the boxes. So now I drag this Cornwall into the place of Cornwall. Now I've got Cornwall as a keyword. It's a title of a list, yes, but it's also a keyword. So these images here of Cornwall, I want the Cornwall with lower C as a keyword. Now, why do I have capitalized? Either the whole word's capitalized or the first letter is capitalized. I'm just going to show you in the import dialog. If I type Cornwall, 2 will come up. the capitalized one and the lowercase one. And I don't want the name of the list. I want the keyword. So by having this workflow of either capitalizing the title of the list, hierarchical list, or just the letter, I know my keyword is the lower one of the two, and the appropriate keyword is applied to the image on import. Okay? Anyone, any questions? While I get the vodka out.
Mark,
Yep,
on my keyword list, I've got rather a lot,
yep,
and they're in alphabetical order, but
yep.
there's two lots of alphabetical orders.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean? And I'm not sure why. Um,
When you say two lots of
well, for
alphabetical order.
instance, if I want to find the word bird, it might not be in the first A to Z, but it will be in the second lot of A to Z.
Okay, so you've got some form of hierarchical structure already,
Oh,
and
by mistake.
they're in the second list. So
Right.
what I say to my advice from experience is do not delete all your keywords.
Okay.
What I would do is put them into a hierarchical, call it old or so. Okay,
Oh,
let me
okay.
let me pedal back two bits to explain something about how Lightroom works. This is folders, this is collections, this is keywords. It is numerical alpha order. What do I mean by that? The first, if you want something at the top of any list, it starts with the number one, then two, then three, then four, then five, nine, and zero. So if you want something in that order, you start one, two, three, three, then it goes 1A, 1B, 1C. Get my point?
Yeah.
Then when you get to 1Z, it's 2A. But if you've got 1AA, that will appear above 1AB. So it's numerical order first, then alpha order, which is why I say put all your images in date structure. In the folder structure, you put them in date organization. All the photographs that you took in a space and place, doesn't matter what you took them with, are all together. And they're all in the order that you took them. Then organize them in collections when you want to bring the narratives and the projects together. How do you organize collections? You can use collection sets, and you name them in the order that you want them presented. Okay, so my structure, and I'll show in a second, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then I rename. So the first one, so it'll be one WIP. I want it at the top, so it's number one, WIP, work in progress. All my questions that I ask, but I want it at the top of the list. That's why it's got number one on there. Same with keywords. Okay, it will go in an numerical alpha order. So you've got you animals or animal, and then underneath animal, you've got a load of keywords, and then you've got animals because it's further in the alphabet. It's animal with an S on the end. It's the next one down, and you've got a load more in there. So you've got two keywords. What I would suggest, so you don't lose all the images that you've keyworded or all the tags on your images, is move all your keywords into a one list. So let me show you. Okay, so let's say I've messed all this up and I want to start again. I'm going to go plus, and I've got this word called Delo. Anyone knows what delo? Well, there will be a couple of people here that know what delo, but any of the new people can guess what the word delo means?
Don't leave out.
No.
No, no.
Can anyone remember?
Oh,
Anybody?
Old.
no idea.
Yes. Oh,
Old
yeah.
reversed.
Yeah, so well done, John, Joan. Okay, so when I was young, when I didn't have grey hair, I was a senior skilled student at Sainsbury's when I was 16, 17, when I was doing my A levels. I was one of the few grade 4 students in the country, and I used to run the meat department on the Saturday. This was before Sunday trading, and it was a terminology in the meat trade. You didn't used to say on the shop floor, that's old meat. You used to say that's delo meat. And delo meat was, it meant to whoever was running the department, it would be top side or so, it's going to be diced up and put in the mince. So it's the word old, as John and Joan said, spelt backwards. So what I would now do, I've created a new hierarchical list. And what I would do is I'm holding the command key down on PC, it's control, and I'm just going to hold, drag and drop. And I've moved them into a delo list. Okay, so they're all in there in one place. Now I'm going to sit there and start from scratch. I'm going to create wildlife because that's how I now want to start putting my animals in there. Untick. And now I've got wildlife. Now I'm going to search on my keywords. Cat. There it is. I'm going to highlight it. Now come off the keyword. So I've pressed the little X in the search bar. Still now drag it into highlights. Now I'm going to go dog. Rather than going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, highlight it, click on it, then click on the little X in the search bar, drag it into there. So I'm now moving the keywords. Okay, it's going to update the photographs. Now you got dog twice. Okay, so let's just create the word dog again and go plus dog. There it is, and it's in animals. Okay, so I've got dog in wildlife and dog in animals. I've got no keywords. So let's go and find a picture of a dog. A picture of a dog quickly. Got a keyword. That's got a key. See, it's got a keyword there, so I know that on there. That got a keyword on it. No, that one hasn't got a keyword. So I'm going to apply the word keyword there, and this one, that one's not got one. So there we go. So this keyword of dog, is those two images here. This keyword of dog has got 3 images on there. And all we do is we select the keyword, two dogs, highlight the images, take the keyword that we now want to apply, tick in the box, and untick the one that we don't want anymore. So now I've just added those to this keyword. And then all I now do is take this keyword, which has now got 0 on it. I can either remove it manually by pressing minus, or if I remember rightly, under metadata, there is a purge unused keywords. There it is there. All your keywords with no keywords on them at all will go. But I would not do that because it would take all your titles away. So I've got a dog, press minus, that keyword's now disappeared. So I'm managing my keywords. I'm updating all the information. Yeah. So I would drag everything into the old list. So you've got it all in one place. And then over time, because you get well bored of doing it, is just start updating it. And it could be, oh, right, well, this one's correct. So I'm just going to drag it out. So I'm just clicked on it, go to the top, and it's now moved. Okay. But by putting them in one place, you know that's all your old stuff, and then start moving them out. Now I could, with this Delo, if I double click on it, I put 9 hyphen, it puts it at the top because it's a number. Okay. If I double click on it, put Z Delo. It's in the wrong place. Yeah, it's at the bottom of the list. Okay, bottom hierarchy rather than D halfway down. Right, A, W, Z. So your choice, if you want it right at the top, okay, put number 1 on it. Oops, sorry about that. That's the function key. Put number 1 and it'll be right at the top. So all your old keywords are in this sub list right at the top, and you just slowly either drag them out or whatever you want to do. So that's how you manage your keywords out in your keyword list. Okay. That is the fundamentals of what is a keyword list and how you can basically apply them. We will look at other ways of applying next week. We will look at keyword sets next week, and we will look at suggested keywords. Okay. That's suggested is pre-AI. Okay. So anyone got any questions about that?
Thank you.
Yes, Jay.
If you rename, it'll rename all the tags.
Yeah. If you rename a keyword, it'll rename all the images with the.
So if you went from a capital to non-capital, that wouldn't change anything
It would change all the keywords in the images. Yes.
in the images.
Yeah.
So renaming and then the delo is a way to manage, because I know I'm going to change as I use it. I mean, because that'll be an experience.
So by moving them, you are giving separation from the old to the new. If you don't do that, it's a bit, and you're going to do your update your keywording over time. Oh, it's a bit of a nightmare. Is that a new one? Is that the old one? And so on. So it's a way of drawing a line, not making yourself re-keyword everything, because applying the keyword to an image is different than managing your list. What we're doing is we're managing what the list, the filing system. So if you think about it, you've got a filing drawer, okay? You're not changing the content. You're changing the order that the content is in, right? So you might turn around and say, well, everything in the old days were A to Z. Now you sit there and go, well, actually, the top drawer is all my personal stuff, A to Z. The second drawer is all my academic stuff, A to Z. My third drawer is all my commercial business correspondence, A to Z. And the bottom drawer is all the crap left over. It's the way I've organized it. That's what I'm doing. It's not the content, it's the way I've organized it. Yeah. And then you would have, in the filing cab situation, you would have a sticky label on the front. Where is everything? And that is the title to the keyword list.
But I know what's going to happen. I know what I'm going to experience. Halfway through this, I'm going to say, oh, I should have done it this way.
Yeah, and that's okay. I've done that hundreds of times.
How do so I'd use the DLO method to reorganize it?
Well, I would. I just made it simple by putting all the old stuff in one place, and then you're not re-tagging them. What you're doing is you're sorting the order that they get shown to you in. So space and place. This was something I only came up with probably 4 years ago, because I had Minehead Beach, Watchet Beach, Penzance Beach, Mull Beach, Lundy Beach. I had beach so many times. And then I had Taunton this, Bristol that. And so and I was sitting there going, why can't I just have Bristol once? Why can't I have Taunton just once? So I learnt from the way my relationship with my keywords. And now I've only got Taunton once, I've only got Bristol once, and I use the word station. So how do I now organize my keywords? I'm not talking about my images, I'm talking about my keywords. So space is a physical name of some place. Okay. A place is something that could be in any space. So a river, the word river is anywhere in the world. It's not linked to a place. So Taunton River is two words I bring together, and they're in two parts of lists. So one is I'm organizing my lists. But the great thing about organizing your list, if you decide halfway through that's all wrong, you can just start again and reorganize them again. You just drag and drop them to where you want to file them in your list. It doesn't affect the image because it's the keywords, it's a link. So having it in a space or a place or a geography or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're organizing your list and applying the keyword to an image. That's it. You'll get eureka moments by trying it out. Yeah? You're on mute, Jay.
So that if you had beach and you went, but it was hierarchy, it would be United Kingdom, Somerset, Minehead, and then you clicked on beach. So if you go down, those hierarchy is connected to the image, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, but I wouldn't put beach in place. I'd put it in space.
Space,
So
right,
space, I would have
right.
I would have spaces, coastline. So I'd have cliff, sand, rock, beach, chalk, all the types of coastline image words that I would use on an image.
Descriptive,
Okay.
right.
And then I'd go place, United Kingdom, Somerset, Minehead. And for the image that was of Minehead Beach, I'd go Minehead in place and space for beach. So let's see if I can find you an example that we could do it with. Right. So here we go. This image here, the place is in Somerset. Okay, I'm going to go G, make sure that this, I've got no image accent, no image active, and the place is Watch It, and it's all lowercase, and I'm going to export it. So there's the image where it is. So that's in place in Somerset, and then space. I've got beach here, so I would take the word beach. There's my image. I'll take the word beach, click it on there, and I'll take the word watch it, click it on there, and then let's go back to G and this, and then I've got another one called time. Okay, so title time. So this is sunset. Okay, it's lowercase. I'm now going to put it in the time. Okay, it's also low tide. Now, low tide could be coastline or it could be time. Okay, so coastline. Okay, it's title. Coastline is a space And now I can start tidying up my space. I can put beach in coastline. Okay. I'm now adding more categories. I'm adding more keywords. So I've got the word beach in there now. Okay. So we had sunset, drag it on and put it there. So if I now go to the image, I've got beach, sunset, watch it. Okay. Now when I go to another image, these are the same ones. So tick there, tick there, tick there. I've applied them to those two images, and this one here actually is the same. There, beach, and so there we go. Okay, but this one here, that's a beach, but it's in a different place, but I've used the same word, beach. Okay. And see if we can find another one. There we go. Beach here. Could say it's a beach, harbour. Okay. Well, we'll take this one. There's a beach there, tick there, beach. Okay, I'm using the same keyword in that list because it's a space in the coastline. So I had a harbour. Okay, so deselect, press plus, harbour. Harbour is a place on a coastline, so it goes into that list. These are all harbour pictures. Apply the keyword. Now that could be I'm moving the keyword to rebuild the list, or it could be I'm adding the keyword, and that's how we do it. And now I could go smart collection, keyword, sunset. Show me the keywords of sunset. And there's all the images. And then I could refine it if I so wish. And we haven't even looked at attributes.
Mark, just before you click off that,
Yeah.
you know, when you're creating the new keyword, you're not ticking the box underneath that says put it inside
Nope.
something.
Don't
Is
do
there a
that.
particular reason for that?
I keep the workflow all the same.
Right, okay.
I create the keyword. I put the keyword where I want to put it. So if one thing at one time.
Okay.
Okay. I create the keyword. I decide whether I'm going to, is it a keyword title? Therefore, I untick all the boxes. I don't put it into the place first. I say, right, I'm going to create the keyword. Now, when do I want to, where do I want to put it? So I'm doing a Montgomery, keeping it simple. One thing at one time. If I'm only doing one thing, I'm not getting confused. I'm thick. I'm an idiot. I can make loads of mistakes. So if
Yeah, I know that.
you ask me one question, I'll give you one answer. Yeah? Right. So, and that's my methodology is I do one thing at one time. I can't multitask. That's it. I know my limitations. So I don't make it complicated.
Okay.
What am I photographing? I know what I'm photographing. Right. I'm focusing on there. I'm taking my exposure of that and I'm focused there. Not complicating the matter. Same with the keywords. If I've gone down what you're talking about, adding it, putting it in the appropriate location. Oh, bugger, I've put it in the wrong place. Now I've got to move it. Well, I don't do that anymore.
Okay.
I now just create a keyword and then I say, where do I want it filed?
Okay.
Yeah. It's less, yes, okay, it's more work slightly, but I'm getting it right first time every time.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than, oh, where did I just bloody file that keyword? And now I've got to go and find it. So that's easy. You search for it and so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I've now caused a problem. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can you unravel a problem for me then? So, as an
I
example,
didn't win the lottery, David, this week. Sorry.
no, I know you wouldn't be here if you had.
No, I would be because I continue doing what I love doing. Go
Yeah,
on.
okay. So I'm going to use Mull as an example. I've travelled to Mall for the last 10 years every
Yeah.
November. How do I get my years right? Because I can tag Mull, Otters, whatever.
Yeah.
But then, for the last 10 years, I can't remember which year that particular shot that I was looking for
Mm-hmm.
is in. So I've now been doing them by
So,
the year.
well, that's really, really simple. There's more than one way of doing it, and I'll give you two ways. You can either create a smart collection and say keyword contains mull, and then you press plus and do a second line, the date range taken in this year. So from the
No,
1st of January to the 30th, and that smart collection will bring back all your images with the keyword of mull in that date range.
yeah, but with the respect, I can't do that. That's my problem because I might have like, X number of thousand over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't know which year it is.
Yeah. Okay. So then you use the filter bar at the top. You just select a column of the year and then you drill down and it will just keep refining. But you add other attributes. So, for example, what camera did you use? Oh, I only had a Nikon Z5, a D5 then, or I knew it was done in August, or I knew that I shot it with a 100 to 300 zoom lens. You give it more information, and it redefines the answer. So you have to start somewhere, and you start with the word mull as a keyword. Then you sit there and go, right, okay, well, was it in this year? Or was it in that year? So, you know, so you can sit there and you can do it multiple ways. You could sit there and say, right, I'm going to look in all my images and I'm going to go text and I'm going to go keyword of cat because we know what there it is. And then I could go metadata, date, wait for it to hurry up. Right, there you go, 2013, 2014, 2015. And if I want to drill down further, those are all the pictures that were taken in June, July, December. If I want to drill down even further, there's the date, 7th. If I want to, bearing in mind, you start from the left. So I'm looking in this location. I'm looking for the keyword of cat. Then I'm looking for my date. But I could sit here and say, right, okay, this one, I'm going to say, show me all my flagged images and then show me the date. Okay. So I could turn around and say, right, okay, so let's 18 images, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, I'm just going to pick them. So now I've got show me all my 18 in here. I've got 18 images of cat. 18 images, show me all the flagged ones, and I knew they were taken in June. There you go. So what I'm doing is I'm drilling down each time, asking more defined questions. Okay?
Yeah, I've been doing them I've been creating collections, but then I end up
You can do it in collections. So collection set is that's another way of just doing a collection set. Okay, so you can do it in a collection set, yes. You could do a collection set for keyword and then use. See, I went to a folder, but you could go to a collection set that's got the keyword mull, then open your library filter at the top and ask more questions. I just went to folders, go to in collections. You work from the left to the right. Where am I looking? Am I looking in a folder? Am I looking in a smart collection or collection? Then I'm going across the right and I'm asking more questions. So then what was the keyword or what was the date? What was it flagged? What was the color label? Was there an additional keyword? Etc. So look in this smart collection of keywords of mull. Now add another keyword in the list to otter. So it's going to look at mull, look for otter, and you've gone from 20,000 to 800 or 20,000 to 6,000. Then you say, Now show me the date that I took in 2023. So it's going to say all your pictures in Mull that was of an otter that have been picked, and you're down to a few hundred. About asking questions.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. That's the basics of keywords. There's a lot more tools, and there is not one right way of doing it. It's multitude of ways of doing it. And as you build the list, you'll get to understand what you want to do. And it's okay to say, I've gone down a cul-de-sac. Let's start again. Put it into a deload list, put it into a list so you're not losing all your keywords, and reorganize them. Okay? Well, workflow is important. And understanding what you want to do. Anyone, any questions about that?
Yes, Mark,
Yeah.
when would you use a title hierarchy instead of a keyword set? They're different, aren't they?
Okay, so I'm misunderstanding by the words that you're using. So title,
Well, you were using a title which had a capital.
title to my hierarchical list. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So then you had a list of keywords
Yeah.
within that.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that and you can have a keyword collection, can't you?
Right. Okay. So a keyword is a way of tagging a particular image, and you organize your keywords. And we can do that by one big list, or we can do it by a hierarchical list. How do you organize your keywords? That's all that is, organizing your keywords. Forget about the images, forget about collections. We are just organizing our keyword. Where do you put all your knives in your drawers? Do you put them in the kitchen or do you put them in the dining room? When I was a child, my parents had a massive great big farmhouse, and we had a posh dining room. We weren't allowed, as children, when I was 8 years old, weren't allowed in that room, but in there was a sideboard with our posh cutlery. They weren't in the kitchen. There was a cutlery drawer in this lovely wooden oak 200-year-old sideboard that was handed down in the, yeah. Where do we put the cutlery?
I think I'm probably used the wrong word. I meant keyword set, did I?
Right. Okay. Yep. But
Which is under the keywording column.
I haven't yet got to the collection bit yet and the sets and so on.
Okay.
So you're organizing your keywords. Where do you want to store your keywords? Okay, that's all you're doing. What we've looked at tonight is how do you want to organize your keywords? Then going to collections. Collections are a way of organizing and bringing together your images, let's say of projects or of galleries. Okay, so I'll give you an example of a project. Your most favorite images, your best images, images of otters. How do you find them? You might have a favorite picture of an otter that you took 15 years ago. And then you've got another favorite otter that you took 12 years ago and another one that you took 11. How do you bring all those together? And you bring them together in collections. Why? Because collections, you can bring them from different locations on different drives if you run with the different drives, or in different folder structures from different cameras. Collections work in every module and across devices. So on your phone, folders don't. And you can share collections with friends and family on the web. Okay, so how do you find your photographs? By keywords. You applied a keyword. So you create a smart collection to do it automated of the keyword. And there is your answer. There's your image. You found the answer to the question. Show me all the pictures that I took in Mull of otters in 2023. There they all come up. There's the image you're looking for. And that's what smart collections do. When an image meets a rule or a question or series of questions, they appear in the smart collection. So that one's a tool to organize, one's a tool to find and present. A standard collection is a manual way of bringing images together. You drag and drop. A smart collection is a way of automating. And a collection set is a group of collections together. And a smart collection will always appear above in the order, doesn't matter what the name is, always above a collection. Did that answer your question, Sue?
It wasn't the.
Go on then, ask your question
No,
again.
it's all right. Don't forget. I perhaps
Go on, ask.
so under keywording, the keywording section,
Hierarchical keywording, yeah.
there's a section there where you can have keyword sets. Is it? I
Yeah,
can't put the word.
yeah. That we haven't even
Oh, no, I didn't
we
mean-
haven't even touched that yet. That's next
No,
week.
that's what I was talking about. Sorry.
Right. Apologies, I misunderstood.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
No, keyword set is a tool to
Yeah.
group keywords together, which is different
Yeah.
to hierarchical keywords. And I'm not going to confuse you, but
Yeah.
it's about narrative.
I'm so sorry. That's what I meant, but I used the wrong
Okay,
word.
I
I'm
misunderstood
sorry,
what you said, so apologies.
That's all right.
We will look at keyword sets next week. We
Okay.
will also look at suggested keywords next week. And what was the other thing? There was something else anyway. Face ID next week. But yeah, keyword sets are totally different. We haven't even talked about that tonight.
Sorry.
It's all right, no problem. Anyone else any questions? Okay. So we are now going to go on to the mystery thing for tonight. Now, my Lightroom short, I'm enjoying doing these. We've got some photo club competition, print competition people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Mr. Weeks does, Mr. Wilkinson does, where we do prints, and a lot of them ask for a border, don't they? A black line around the picture sometimes and things like that. Yeah. They want them precise size or megabytes or whatever and so on. Well, to put an inner stroke or an outer stroke or a line or something like that in Classic has been always very difficult. You could do things in the print module and so on, etc., but it's a long-winded way. Well, I found a plugin called Mogrifier. And I'll put it in the chat. Here we go. No, everyone. So I've put this plugin in the chat for you if you want to have a look at it. It's a donationware, so it's free to use, but it will only do 10 at a time if you don't make a donation. The donation is any amount. So again, I do my usual $10. So that's £12. You get updates for life. And it's an enhanced exporter. It gives you more functionality on export. So we come up to File, Plugin Manager, and here it is here. My serial number, which I'll blur out on the recording. And you just go and give them $5, $10, $20 or whatever, and you'll get this plugin. So how does the plugin work? So we go to export and we have this post-processing action down the bottom right-hand corner. And there's lots of different plugins that we can get that go in here. So here we go. Mogrifier, how I pronounce it. And these are these panels here. So we're only going to look at one tonight, but there's lots of them. Graphical watermark, text, resizing, background canvas, compression size. It's all within this plugin, but we're going to look at this outside border, and there's also inside border. And what you first have to do is you have to insert the action to your workflow, and there's also inside border. Okay. And so I've added outside border, and we've got to tell it what size outside or what outside border do I want to do. So you go plus and you say what color. Up comes the panel, and we're going to go black. And then we're going to say 10 pixels. So 10 pixels all the way around. Okay. That's it. Simple. Okay. So I'm just going to press done. So let's go and find a photograph that we can see quite easily. So let's export this, export, and 10 pixels all the way around. And you can save the preset. So let's just go through. It's going to go onto my desktop. Yeah, that's correct. Not going to file rename. Don't to resize. I don't want any output. Watermark, no metadata. Don't need to do any of that, doing that, and export. And it should, if I double click on it, there we go. We've got a border around it. 10 pixel black border all the way around the photograph. You see that? And there's an inner border, so you can put like a frame around it. And there are lots of different options that we can do. We can add text. So let's go back to it. You decide graphic watermark. Now we've got graphic watermark already in here, but there's more options. Got text annotation that takes the information from your IPTC data. So you might want the title on the picture, or you might want the description or the keywords or something on there. And you insert this to here, and we go insert, yes, text, where is it? There we go, post text annotate. So now you add what text you want, which way round you want it, what pixel size, what font, what color, and you can add your metadata, what position, what text you want put on there. And there are tons of things that this plugin does. But I remember somebody asking, I think it was Mr. Weeks, was asking about putting a black border around the outside of a print, we looked at it as in the print module, but it was Photoshop, and I came across this, and you can just add whatever size you want. Black border. There's an inner border one here, so let's add that to my workflow. Inner border. Okay, so let's go inner border, and I'm going to do this 50. Insert 50, 10, there we go. Let's do a black line. So in this case, that's it, export. And then there's the last one, when finish, open, there, and export, overwrite. There we go. So now I've got an outer border and an inner border, all within Classic.
Mark, can I ask, while you're still in there,
Yeah.
Presumably you've got to send it out of Lightroom. Why can't you go to the print module with that information? Will it print straight from the print module in Classic?
No, because you're exporting it. You could do a black background on the piece of paper. But what you could do is you could just now print that that image there. Just file print and print it like that.
Yeah, from outside. Okay.
Yeah. So you can't do that in the print module.
Yeah.
Or you would put a background to it and do it that way. So just trying to think now. How will we do that? We did this under custom. You put a stroke around it. So, but that I just thought was so easy
Yeah.
doing that, and you just print now. So rather than going into Photoshop.
Yeah.
The outer border actually adds 10 pixels all the way around to the image.
Correct. But you can do it different ways. It's which way do you want to do it? So, it's the functionality of, rather than opening up Photoshop and doing that and so on, you can just apply it that way, and it applies a 10 pixel border. But then you could use the resize in this plugin. It's got the resize. So you could say, don't make the print, or you could use in the normal export, don't make the image more than whatever it is.
Right.
And then that's on the outside, and the picture, so the picture's slightly smaller so if you want a 10 by 8, it's going on a 10 by 8 piece of paper. The black bit's the 10 by 8, the picture is 7.9. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very useful.
Yeah. So
That's
it was somebody asked me long time ago, and I stumbled across that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I thought, oh right, I'm going to have that, so I bought it, and I've just played with it occasionally, and I just thought, right, we'll do this as a short.
Actually, that's really valuable. I just looked up a wall and I saw a print that was framed, and framing will often create a little extra black thin border
Yeah.
in the mat. They'll double mat and put a color in. So this actually, in digital prints, we tend to not get them so framed. We put them in more simple frames, I think. So that's actually
Yeah.
really
So
good.
there's lots of permutations, possibilities,
Yeah,
and so on. It was just the fact
yeah,
that somebody was doing photo club competition prints, and they asked for a black border around them. And you can change the size of the black border. You can have it,
right,
quarter of an
right,
inch, or how many
right,
pixels, or whatever you want to do.
right,
So if you want a nice big thick black border all the way around it, you can do that. You can put your watermark in there. You can put a line of text on it. If you were doing a salon or something like that, and you wanted to put Froome Camera Club at the bottom corner, you could do that. John from Froome Camera Club or something like that. You can do that all with a plugin and just do it as a one-off. Just type it on there. So, or you could put it into your metadata, and it'll bring back the metadata, whatever you got in that field, and populate it like a mail merge. So I just thought, oh, that's quite handy. That is. So, I don't think I'd use it much, but I thought that was quite handy. So I thought I'd share
yeah.
that plugin with you. So the link's in the chat if you're interested in it. Mogrifier, it's called. So and again, it's a donationware. So there's no annual rental, nothing like that. You just pay a one-off nominal fee of, in my case, I always give $10, which is or £10, which is about $12, and you get a license key and so on. So, and there we go. So over to you this evening. What challenges have you got in Lightroom and Lightroom Classic that you'd like to share? Anybody?
Mark, I wonder if I can ask you,
Hi, David.
when you started talking about printing, it brought up a question which I have been struggling with, and that's to actually re. I've been printing through Lightroom,
Yeah.
but I can't get the color reproduction accurate.
Okay.
What I have done, I'm sure there's one thing I missed out because I've got the screen calibrated.
Yeah.
I have made sure that I've got the correct profiles for the paper that I'm using,
Yeah.
and I've soft proofed in order to try and match uh, the color on the screen to what
Yeah.
comes out on the paper, but it still doesn't reproduce as accurately as I would like it to. Have I
Okay.
missed a vital step somewhere?
You're in a rabbit hole when you get to color and printing. My first thing that you haven't mentioned is the color management. Have you told Lightroom
Is it?
that you're in control? Because as default, the printer will be in control. So
Yeah,
the
no, I've done
print,
that.
you've done that, okay?
Yeah,
Well, the only other thing that I can think of, just because you just brought it up in conversation, if I think of anything, I'll email you or whatever. Um,
thank you.
um, so you've got a color monkey or something like that. Is have you calibrated the print side of it so you can do color checker of a print? So
No, I
you
haven't
say
done that.
you say you've color.
So
So that's,
I mean, I've got, I'm using Calibrite, so I've
yeah,
calibrated the screen
yeah,
and updated that every couple of weeks or so.
yeah,
Um, and I've got the ICO profile, so I've got uh, the paper that I'm using is the paper that the printer thinks I'm using,
yeah.
and so on. Uh, and I've soft
Looks,
proofed. But
yeah,
even when I've got the color in the soft proof that I think is what I want, the color that appears on the paper
yeah.
isn't.
Okay, so color bright, color bright, which is color one of those.
Um, yes, it looks something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Um, so if you go and have a look at their website, the first picture that comes up, the lady with lovely permed frizzy hair, she's actually calibrating her printer. If you actually look at it, she's using her color right, and you print out the swatch from the printer, and you then run your what are these called? Nomoscopes.
I don't know. I know what you mean.
Um, come on, Jay, you know what these are called?
I've bought one but never used it.
Uh,
I can't, I haven't
I
yet
can't
used it.
I can't remember.
So,
It's a word that you never ever use. I'm just having a look. I'll check it.
sensor is good enough.
Yeah, sensor is good enough. There's a particular word, what they're called.
Yeah.
Somebody in the recording, leave leave it in the comments. Um, um, the nomonoscope, color scope. No, no. Anyway, whatever it is. But you scan so you print it out the paper with the ink and you scan it and you can create what is on the screen. The software looks at what's on the screen and what it's printing and adjusts the ink recipe to give you what's on the screen. So that might be something you want to look into.
Okay, so
Not my areas of forte, that isn't.
okay, no problem.
I
You think that looking a bit deeper into that software might
maybe that would be from what you've said. You've done all the right things. So, but printing is yeah, it's actually a job. Color management and printing technology and that's why I just deal with the technicians at university and I've just got a lab round the corner, a printing shop round the corner, and they're pretty good. So,
Uh,
um,
um, just one thought. Have you checked your driver or which version you've got
yeah,
so
driver's up to date.
on your
with
computer?
the print driver. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
good point. The software that you're using to the manufacturer's software that you're using, whether it's HP, Epson, Canon, whatever, is that the most up to date? And is that set as print from Lightroom rather than it taking over control of the printer.
Yeah.
That where I find a lot of times, historically,
In the print module, it won't actually let you do very much unless you tell it that you want Lightroom to take control.
it should.
Mm.
So if you go down under print job, it should give you the color management, and you can choose
Yeah.
what you want. And then if you go to printer under color management, it's got managed by printer and then other.
Yeah.
So you can manage it, but you can overwrite what the print. So what's happening is it's giving it, and then the printer is taking over what it thinks it can be. So you can actually set it to be run by
Okay.
run by Lightroom. So the printer is, should we say, dummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So so it's, at the moment it's got managed by printer. So you've then got a profile. So if you click, so I've done this for donkey's years. So print job printer, then you come down to other, bottom left hand corner. If you click on include display profiles, go and select your color profile of your screen, then press OK. Then it should force the printer to print as your screen prints. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But it's again, it's one of those things that once you set up, you leave it alone because
Yeah.
you've spent hours and years and so on. It's like certain settings in preferences and the catalog settings. Oh, I did that in 1827. Where is it now? So you can't remember. Once you've done it, that's it. You've done it. There we go. But have a look there, so that may help you.
Okay, that sounds very good. Thank you.
That's right.
Don't forget, it's also the paper. Paper
Yep.
changes the
No,
color.
no, yeah, I've done that, Jay.
Okay, good.
I think that if I've calibrated the screen and the printer doesn't know that the screen is calibrated, which is, I think, what Mark was saying, I need to make that adjustment.
That from experience, most hiccups are it's calibrated this, and then you go give it out, you send it out, and the printer takes over. You haven't forced the things that you've got on your computer onto the printer, and that's what I think the profiles, etc., and so on. And that's
Okay, it
where I
sounds
would
like
look.
I've got a job on my hands, but I think I understand what I've got to do now.
Yeah. Okay, great. No problem, David. Let us know next week or the week after or whenever you've conquered it.
Yeah, okay, we'll do.
Anyone else got any questions?
Oh, and I would just add one thing.
Yes.
Relax your tolerances.
Are we talking about personal or are we talking about print tolerances?
Personal. I think everything, I mean, we have what we want to get, but at some point, it just isn't worth all the time and effort. You have to relax your preference and accept something that's slightly off.
Manage
That's
expectations.
Manage expectations.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and if I could give you another tip similar to Jay, never do color editing once you've drunk alcohol or coffee. Okay, deadly serious because the colors, your pigments and pigments in your eyes or whatever, your interpretation of colors once you've had a lot of caffeine or red wine, especially, they look different. Get saturated very, very quickly by drinking alcohol or coffee. So that's that. And I'll give you a tip. Look away. Count to 30, then look back. Especially when you're doing colors, especially greens and reds. Look away from the image because you get muted. Your eyes get muted, adjusted to those colors. You think, oh, that's fine. And then you look away, you close your eyes, you look away. Or go away, make a cup of tea and come back and go, oh my God, look how red that is.
David, are you also working in a very light room?
Uh,
Turn your lighting down.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
because that'll affect your screen
yeah,
color.
yeah, totally
Yeah,
right. Yeah, well done, David. Yeah, yeah, right there. Yeah, and that's why a lot of
yeah.
editing
I don't
monitors
have.
have hoods on them.
Yeah, no, I haven't got a screen with a hood. That was just one step too far, I'm afraid, when it came to.
Down to Tesco's or Morrison's and ask them for a cereal box. The boxes that cereals, the big
Yeah,
box that has
okay.
48
Yeah,
boxes of cereals in there, and then cut it and put it round it. Because
okay.
when I go out in the garden with my laptop, that's what I sit behind.
Also, David, have you got your screen brightness right down to 50%?
I've got the screen, the brightness down to what the calibration software is telling me is right.
Yeah. So
So it comes it's got a green range that is acceptable, and then and red if it's too bright or too dark.
Okay, good.
right, so they're called a color spectrometer, and when you calibrate the screen by putting it that way,
Yeah.
it also looks at your ambient light brightness. So will in the configuration, it will take in your ambient light
Okay.
and set the brightness for your ambient light. Now, what I do when I do my serious editing, not my social photography, but when I do something for example, any of my publications or anything like this, I sit in darkness. My the blinds are drawn, the lights are
Yeah.
off, the video lights are off, and I was sitting here in brightness when I'm doing anything of what I call meaningful photography. When I just do my social stuff, my practice of my practice, um, I just have the normal light on. But yeah, so
And
anyone
then,
else any questions? Sorry,
well,
Joe.
then of course, David, you'll get it right for when you look at it. But then if anybody else looks at it, it's going
Yeah,
to be different.
yeah,
So it's an unsolvable problem in a way, is my
Well,
view.
I mean, yes, it is. I'm happy with what's on the screen. It's the translation of what's on the screen
yeah,
onto a piece of paper.
Right.
Whether other people like what I like is neither here nor there. I mean, that's their problem. But
Right. And they'll
I
see
want
colors
to translate
differently.
what I like from the
Right.
screen to the paper.
yeah.
Right.
I think you should profile how your printer's handling it. So you need to apply the screen profile to your printing.
Okay, that
That
sounds like
that's that's my gut instinct from what we've talked about.
that sounds like the bit that I've missed out. So I'm happy to give that a
Yeah, have a try and
go.
let us know.
Will do.
Anyone else? Any questions?
Can I just ask two, and they can just be a yes or no answer, because I know it's almost personal. But have you updated your Z9 to 5.3?
Not yet.
Okay. And do you use it for videoing?
I use I so okay, without upsetting somebody here, I am currently reading up about the ZR. Most of my video I do on my 8 because it's lighter and smaller. But I don't do a lot of video on my 9. My 9 I don't use that much anyway. I only use it for high action, and I don't do that much photography. So going out doing deer on Exmoor, those type of workshops, etc. I don't do much of that now. So which is probably why I won't upgrade to the Z9 II unless it's a global shutter. But we'll see what they do with the Z8 too. I'm currently looking at the ZR and the 24 135 f4 power zoom lens. But I'm very happy with what video I've got at the moment, and I use a little Z30, which is a lovely little lightweight 4K 24 frames, and I do the video on that. Tiny little thing. Very happy with it. Um, but if there is a tool that comes out that um, makes my life easier, then I'll invest in that tool. So but a lot of times I will take video and then turn my other cameras on to silent mode. So whilst it's recording some video, I can do stills at the same time. So, but yeah. But I'm loving playing with the new Fuji Evo Mini Cinema, which has got that era dial on it, so you can shoot like you were in the 1940s. It's going to be absolutely brilliant when you use that about. Okay, David?
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else any questions? Right. Okay. Next week, we're going to look at keyword sets, and we're going to look at applying. We're going to look at some Face ID as well. And then the third week, it's about bringing it all together as workflow, importing, automating, and giving you some ideas about how you could use them, because we haven't looked at things like commercial photography, how you would want to add keywords for that. All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Nice to see
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening. All the best.
Bye.
Recording will be
Bye.
done tomorrow.
Night.
Night.